Hi everyone, it's Dr. Dilmar here. Wanted you to be able to put a face to a name, and I typically try to use videos a few times during the course to reach out to my students. So here you go. I'm Dr. Dilmar. I'm your adjunct professor for multicultural studies. I want to just tell you a little bit about me. What does adjunct even mean? Adjunct means that I teach for the university, and I teach one or two classes on a part-time basis. I have a full-time job during the day. I'm actually an elementary school assistant principal. So I've been doing that for a few years now, and I enjoy it a lot. I've worked at the middle school and the high school levels. I've been an instructional specialist. Um, I've worked in several places around the world, actually. And I really enjoy what I do now because it does allow me to teach online. And I found that I have a passion for teaching students online. So I'm not just doing this for a few extra bucks in the pocket. I really completely love and enjoy teaching online. So I hope that you enjoy learning online. I want to tell you kudos to you for taking online classes. Sometimes people think, oh, online classes, they're easier than face-to-face classes, but they're actually more difficult because one, people don't tend to see all the effort that you have to put into an online class, and so all the expectations that go into your day, whether it's your family or work or whatever it is or other classes, people don't tend to see, what you have to put into that online experience. And so you really have to do a good job of carving out time for an online class. So kudos to you for being able to do that. Even teaching online, it's not like I'm getting dressed to go to a job when I'm doing this. So I want to say, hey, wait, this takes time to do. It's not so easy. So we're in that together. But I love doing this. I hope you enjoy the class. I'll typically try to do one of these maybe every week. It may not be every week, but you'll definitely get a post from me every week, whether it's video or not. And I'll kind of summarize what we've done for the week maybe. And most importantly, I'll do kind of like a week in review, like a week of, what's coming up. So that way you have clarity on any grades that are due and that kind of thing. Maybe I'll give you feedback on some trends that I see. But in this first video, I want to go through some key expectations for the course, and I think that'll help you be successful. Snaps to you all for your first week. What your bag posts were, just very thorough, and I certainly appreciated each of your posts. I read every single one of them, and I replied to a few of your posts. I see that some of your classmates, you had really a good bit of replies, and I really think that's important because who you are is not just hey, this is me, now let's get to work on the grades. We're part of that online learning community together. That social group as part of this course is actually very important. It helps build our capacity as educators. So kudos to you guys because you did a really super good job, and that makes me feel like you'll also continue on doing that when you turn in your papers and your discussion posts. So I want to talk a little bit about a couple of things as far as in communication. First of all, I do tend to be very quick on the reply for emails. So if a day or two has gone by and you haven't heard from me, now I'm not going to say I email back every day on the weekends. I do try to on the weekends, but if there's been a couple of days and you really need a response and I haven't replied back to you, please go ahead and reach back out to me again. You're not hurting my feelings to say, hey, Dr. Dilmar, I emailed you and I hadn't heard anything, because you all probably know how email works, where if you get a lot of them there, it's very easy to overlook one. And I certainly don't want you just sitting there, waiting for a response from me. So don't worry about that. And then sometimes I reply Dr. D, and I work with elementary school kids, and so sometimes Dilmar is not the easiest thing. Some of them barely know their own names, much less mine. But Dr. D, Dr. Dilmar, either one is fine. But just wanted to let you know that feel comfortable. I'm pretty laid back in that regard. Um, Discussion boards and biweekly papers. So that's kind of like the two primary things that you have going on in the class. It's really important, I think, for you to, and I'm sure most of you have done this by now, to look at the syllabus and go ahead and plan out the activities for the course for the semester. And what I mean by that is if you have some kind of personal way of keeping a calendar, whether it's electronic or hard copy, like an actual calendar that you physically carry, I think you should go ahead and write out all the assignments that are due on the different weeks, because you will find that there's some weeks that there's a lot more due than other weeks. And I know how life is. Sometimes you have more time than others. Or some weekends you probably have tons of stuff going on. There's some weekends not so much. So I just want to make sure that you have taken that step to plan out everything, at least write it on your calendar, so that if you find yourself, in a position where you can work ahead, and then you have another opportunity where you're saying, okay, well, I had some things going on, so you won't get behind because you've already worked ahead. Spring break, for example. A lot of people like to work ahead during spring break. The other thing is, and especially for those bi-weekly assignments, because you're going to find with those bi-weekly assignments that you don't want to be just doing all of that on the week that they're due. So discussion boards, I want to talk a little bit about discussion boards, and like I said, I'm really optimistic and encouraged by the introduction post that you made. So discussion boards, what do I want you to know on that? Well, discussion boards, I want you to know that your post and your responses is more than just telling me what you read or telling your classmates what you read. You could do an individual assignment. It wouldn't be necessary to do on a discussion board. What I want you to do is use evidence from the text, evidence from your readings to support your reflections and your ideas and your answers. And you use that evidence from the text to help build capacity of the rest of us. And then me and the others who reply to you, our job is then to extend the learning. So when you reply, you are extending the learning by either agreeing, you might disagree, or you might add some value, but that's all with evidence from the text. So it's very important that certainly you can have an opinion on some of these different topics, but it's really important that you stray away from the opinion type kind of idea on a discussion board post and really focus on your readings and the evidence from the text, and just think about value added. So I see your point because when I read such and such, or in the article blah 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 says, and then I noticed. And so agreeing, disagreeing, kind of, sort of, but you're really doing it more with the evidence from the text. Hope that makes sense. Again, just think about, are you extending the learning? Are you helping us to build capacity? And then one last thing, so Muddiest Forum. What is the Muddiest Forum? The Muddiest Forum is a place where certainly you can email me if you have questions, but I would like for you to be able to also rely on one another. So the Muddiest Forum is a place where you can ask a clarifying question, and either I or your classmates can answer it. And what that allows us to do is be able to see, so say there's 5 students that have the same question, you can go to the Muddiest Forum, and then you'll be able to see that that question was already posted and that there's some clarifying information there. So not all 5 students have to email. And it also helps you to kind of learn to lean on one another also as learners. And so try to use the Muddiest Forum if you do have a question, but that's only going to work if there's other classmates monitoring it and then responding with their answers. So say you emailed me and you got a point clarified that needed to be clarified, you might post that on the Muddiest Forum, and then others will see it and they're like, oh, okay, I get that. That makes sense. Or thank you for posting. Again, that only works if the network is strong. So if you don't have an answer to something, if you post something on the Muddiest Forum and you don't get a response, I haven't responded, certainly feel free, go ahead and email me for sure. But hopefully that will work out in that regard. So that's pretty much it. We're going on 10 minutes. I didn't want this video to be too long, but I did want to kind of let you see me, what I do. You'll probably hear the dogs in the background. Again, I'll post next week. Real quick though, what is due this week is the discussion boards. I sent out your small group assignments through email, and then you have a bi-weekly assignment that's due this week. If you have any other questions, let me know, and I hope you guys all have a good week. I have tomorrow off as it's a holiday. Hopefully most of you have tomorrow off as well. Happy Dr. Martin Luther King Day. Want to celebrate and honor all that Dr. Martin Luther King has not only done, but what he stands for. And I hope that you guys have a great week. Bye. See you later.